Ever thrown down your pack at dusk and wished your tent could just handle itself? Yeah, this list fixes that feeling, from instant pitch to ultralight comfort. Ranked 6 to 1, so the best sits at the top where it belongs. There's an open loop here because the number 1 spot isn't just light. It nails livability, durability, and value in a way that's tough to beat without going boutique ultralight prices, so stick around for that. Along the way, expect blunt takes on ventilation, vestibules, pull quality, and those tiny friction points that decide if you sleep well or just wait out the night. 6. Nightcat one-person tent. Look, the magic trick here is speed. It pops open in about 3 seconds, and folding it back once you learn the figure 8 gets much easier, which is a relief when weather's closing in and you just want inside now. Interior space is generous for a 1P pop-up, roughly 7.7 by 3.3 by 2.95 feet. So a regular pad fits cleanly with room to stash small gear on the side, and that matters when you're dialing a short overnighter or beach camp. The fabric is PU 2000 millimeters 190T polyester with taped seams, and paired with guy lines and pegs, it stands up respectably in wind for its class, which surprised more than expected given it's not a premium alpine shelter. Venting is decent thanks to 1 big door and 2 wide windows, and the porch trick with trekking poles as usable shade and airflow that makes this more than a novelty when the sun's loud and you want to see it with a view. Now the trade-offs. Pop-up discs pack awkwardly. Even with the updated fold that's 40% smaller, the 21 by 21 by 2 inch package is still a flat circle, which doesn't slide into narrow packs well, and you'll feel that on tighter backpacks or bikepacking bags, bottom line. If you're thinking durability, the 6mm pole structure is fine for casual trips, but, it's not a backcountry bruiser. Wind management improves with careful guying and smart site selection, but a classic double-wall trekking shelter will outlast it in shoulder season storms. 5. ShinHye backpacking tent for camping, 1 person. The ShinHye comes in as a budget-minded solo shelter that tries to give you the basics. 3-season in tent, D-door with breathable mesh for airflow, and enough vestibule-adjacent space to stage shoes and a pack without feeling cramped at the threshold. It's positioned as ultralight by name, but at about 2.5 kilograms cited in listings, it's more of a lightweight car camping or short hike tent than miles per ounce backpacking companion, so expectations matter here. Setup is straightforward with fiber poles, stakes, and guy lines that hold decently in wind when anchored well, and for budget gear, that's often the difference between a fine night and a sloppy one. Weather protection is pitched as rainstorm ready, and with careful pitch and full guying, you'll ride out typical showers fine. Still, the materials and pole spec don't scream long-term abuse, so treat it kindly, dry it, store it loose, and it'll return the favor. Downsides? Weight to space and material feel aren't in line with true UL competition, and while breathability is helped by the D-door venting, condensation control won't rival premium double-wall tents with higher mesh coverage and more refined fly geometries. In use, it's the kind of tent that handles a weekend fishing camp or a casual overnight where the car isn't far and you won't panic if mud splashes because, well, you didn't spend a fortune. The comfort story is okay. Enough stretch-out room for 1 adult, stow spots for shoes, and simple routines that don't need a manual, which is worth something when you're tired and just want to sleep.
4. Naturehike Cloud Up, 1 person. The Cloud Up line is popular for a reason. It threads that needle between price and performance with a compact 1P that's actually pleasant to live in when weather isn't trying to break you. And the 20D option trims weight while still offering legit waterproofing when paired with smart site selection. Naturehike's 1P format gives you a real deal backpacking package, low profile for wind, reliable fly coverage, and the kind of interior that, while minimalist, lets you sit up, change, and keep essentials within arm's reach without feeling like you crawled into a tube. Pitch is intuitive once you've done it twice. Hubbed pole structure, clear fly orientation, and a flip print option on some bundles if you like protecting your floor from grit and granite. Venting is solid for a small double wall, and with thoughtful door management, you can mitigate condensation on colder nights, which is the real test for small 1Ps in variable climates. Durability for the price tier is respectable. You're not getting Expedition nylon weights, but the fabrics and stitching on current cloud-up runs are dialed enough for season after season use if you dry, clean, and store correctly. Little habits that pay big dividends. Use case-wise, it's a classic do more than you pay for tent. Shoulder season trips below tree line, weekend overnights where weight still matters, and bike packing where the compact pack size earns its keep. Is it the lightest? No. Roomiest? Also no.
3. Clostnature Crux Lightweight 1P. Clostnature's 1P backpacking tent delivers that familiar double-wall comfort with an approachable weight and a user-friendly pitch that doesn't make you hunt for microscopic toggles in the dark, which honestly is worth more than it sounds like after a 14-mile day. Interior dimensions feel generous for a true 1P, with enough width to keep your quilt from kissing the walls and a vestibule that swallows a 45L pack plus boots without turning the entry into a tight squeeze. The pole architecture creates decent headroom for sitting up, sorting gear, and life management tasks like changing socks without acrobatics, which is where a lot of ultralight designs fall short. Weather handling is confidence building in normal 3-season conditions, stable when properly guyed, and the fly geometry sheds rain cleanly instead of pooling near seams, which is a quiet design win you notice at 3 a.m. when rain taps the fabric. Value is real here. You get the full double wall experience, aluminum poles, and a livable footprint that doesn't bully your pack weight, making it a go-to for newer backpackers stepping up from car camp setups. Are there lighter shelters? Of course, but the Crux line keeps comfort high and the learning curve low, which means more good trips and fewer fussy campsites, and that matters more than shaving a few ounces from many hikers. If you prioritize ease, predictable performance, and a vestibule you'll actually use, this lands beautifully at number 3. 2. TETON Sports Vista Quick Tent. The Vista Quick Tent is the instant pitch specialist in this group. Snap it open and, well, you're basically done, which makes it a hero for late arrivals, rain flurries, or those nights when dinner ran long and you're setting up by headlamp. Despite the speed, interior room is honest-to-goodness livable for a solo sleeper, with vertical-ish walls that keep the canopy off your face and give you space to sit and sort without feeling boxed in, which is rare for quick tents. Pair it with a separate rainfly or compatible shelter system, and you get a real 3-season rig that can handle gusts and rain better than most instant competitors, which, tend to be fair weather toys. Ventilation is a standout. Generous mesh promotes airflow, so you're not waking up damp when temperatures swing between warm evenings and cool dawns. And that comfort compounds over multi-night trips. The real charm here is frictionless camping. When a tent removes setup anxiety, you start to say yes to quick overnights more often, and that alone climbs it to number 2. Sure, it's not the lightest option in this lineup, so pure mileage hikers will still look to traditional ultralight 1Ps, but the convenience dividend is huge for beginners, scouts, and anyone who values the fastest path from trail to sleep. If instant setup sounds like cheating, well, it kind of is, in the best possible way. Featherstone UL Obsidian 1 person. Here's the closer. The Obsidian lands that sweet intersection of weight, space, and durability. With a 3-pound 12-ounce pack weight, 2-pound 12.5-ounce trail weight, and floor dimensions of 81 by 38.5 inches that feel downright roomy for a true solo tent. Peak height hits 45 inches, which means you can actually sit up and live in here, read, plan, repack, without the slow neck crunch that eats morale on day 3. The materials are proper. 20D sil nylon fly and floor with 2000mm PU coatings, no CM mesh canopy, and 7001 aluminum hubbed poles that balance stiffness and packability, plus a footprint included in mini bundles for floor longevity. Vestibule area is a practical 25.6 inches deep, so your pack, boots, and cook kit textures without blocking the door. And the fly geometry sheds rain predictably instead of beating into entrance strip lines. Small detail, big comfort. On trail, setup is intuitive and repeatable. The structure holds its pitch overnight, and venting keeps condensation in check for a double wall, which is why reviewers keep calling it compact, lightweight, and surprisingly roomy for its weight class. This is the tent that makes a 5-day loop feel civilized, stable in shoulder season wind when guide, comfy in a downpour, and easy to dry and pack in the morning without fighting soggy fabric because the sil nylon sheds water quickly once the sun peeks out. Final take. If you want instant convenience for casual nights, the Nightcat Pop-Up and TETON Vista are ridiculously easy, with the Vista taking the silver for better backpacking chops. If you want a durable, truly backpack-ready solo home with space to breathe and a weight you won't resent on day 4, go Obsidian and don't look back.